Right now on TMJ4 News at 5, the end of a remarkable life and a remarkable era. Queen Elizabeth II has died, but she'll remain an enduring symbol after 70 years on the throne of the British monarch. TMJ4 News at 5 starts now. And good afternoon. Queen Elizabeth died today at her country home in Scotland. She passed away peacefully and surrounded by family. It became clear this morning the Queen's health was grave as the royal family rushed to her side. For generations of people, Queen Elizabeth was the only British monarch they have known. Our Steve Shamras joins us live near the Highbury pub with more. Steve.
Carol, we're going to hear from some of the Queen's subjects in just a moment as we found a few of them reacting to the news in this pub here in Bayview. But this day really does mark a milepost in history. A woman who served in World War II and then saw her country through 7 turbulent decades is now gone. As one of the Brits I spoke with inside the pub told me, not everybody in the UK is a supporter of the monarchy, but Queen Elizabeth, she was universally beloved. Among the statements marking her passing, this from the Queen's oldest son, known before today as Prince Charles, from this day on as King Charles III, the King, saying, "We mourn profoundly the passing of a cherished sovereign and a much-loved mother. I know her loss will be deeply felt throughout the country." It has been said that the British and the Americans are people separated by a common language. Case in point is where we have landed today, the Highbury pub in Bayview. To the Brits, this is a football bar. We know it is soccer. But on this day, the Highbury is a touchstone for those thousands of miles away from their home on a momentous day in British history. On the day Queen Elizabeth died, Nix and Alexander Bailey found themselves hearing the news from half a world away.
It's a bit surreal, really, sitting here in a bar in Milwaukee hearing that the Queen's died, because I think a lot of people were shocked. I think most people thought she was going to live quite a long time. Her mother lived to be over 100.
The father and son from 20 miles outside of London landed in Milwaukee to take in a Brewers game, but paused with us to reflect on the Queen's passing. Something that will require some adjustment.
I think, no, the Queen is widely admired, respected, was widely admired. To talk about it in the past tense now, which is odd, talking about it in the past tense.
I'm not sure it's sunk in, to be honest. I don't know. I think maybe when I get back to the UK and I see if there's any sort of different atmosphere or different attitude towards the royals, then maybe it'll seem different, but I don't know, maybe the first time you sing the national anthem and have to sing different words, it'll sink in at that point.
Just down the bar, Jazz Singh had been watching the news since yesterday. He was surprised at just how quickly the Queen passed and the world changed.
I was really worried when I heard last night that she was in hospital, and I was dreading it would be quickly, and unfortunately that's the way it turned out.
Now his country will have to adjust to something it has not had to face in most people's lifetimes. A new king with goodwill that needs to be earned.
I think it's going to be a difficult transition, especially with his background, especially what happened with Diana, and it'll be interesting how that transition, I just hope it works out smoothly.
As we've said now several times, Queen Elizabeth's reign spanned 7 decades. Here's a brief look at what some of those years looked like. She was born in April 1926 to the Duke and the Duchess of York. In 1947, she married Philip, their marriage lasting 73 years. He died just last year. After the death of her father, Elizabeth became queen. Her crowning ceremony was in 1953, and it was the first to be broadcast on television. 4 years later, the Queen met President Eisenhower. In total, she met with 13 American presidents, the most recent being President Joe Biden. Fast forward to 2015, Queen Elizabeth earned the title of the longest reigning monarch in British history. Queen Elizabeth had 4 children, 8 grandchildren, and 12 great-grandchildren. Her legacy will carry on, Carol.
Yeah, Steve, I was always amazed at how young she was. You know, when she took the throne, and she really was handling it with such grace and dignity. It was amazing. And the NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt takes you to London tonight as the world remembers the woman who changed the monarchy forever. Nightly News starts at 5:30. Local news now. 2 people charged in connection to the drive-by shooting of a 14-year-old boy. It happened August 23rd in Sherman Park. A 17-year-old has been charged with first-degree reckless injury along with other charges. 19-year-old Manuel Zollicoffer is charged with aiding a felon. The two are due in court tomorrow for a preliminary hearing. New at 5, an investigation into Kenosha County Sheriff David Beth. This comes as the Milwaukee County District Attorney is asked to look into allegations the sheriff misappropriated funds. Katie Crowther reports from Kenosha.
It appears Kenosha County Sheriff David Beth could have a criminal case coming up against him very soon. Court documents confirm Kenosha County's district attorney asked a judge last month for Milwaukee County DA John Chisholm to be the special prosecutor to investigate whether criminal charges should be filed against Sheriff Beth. That request granted. But because it's an active investigation, neither Kenosha nor Milwaukee County will share any details. So I reached out directly to Sheriff Beth. Calling. This is Katie Crowther from Channel 4. I called earlier today and still haven't heard back from Sheriff Beth. You told me he was on the phone at the time and would call me back after that. Emailing. Showing up in person at the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department. The public information officer who said he wasn't aware of an investigation told me Sheriff Beth was unavailable. I did talk with several county leaders who do not want to be named, who say the criminal investigation has to do with Sheriff Beth misappropriating overtime money. Sheriff Beth announced earlier this year he'll be retiring on January 3rd, 2023. The next Kenosha County Sheriff will be decided in November's general election. Katie Crowther, TMJ4 News.
Katie, thank you very much. The Department of Justice celebrating the 2-year anniversary of its Speak Up, Speak Out app. It's a virtual system where students can report threats. Now, so far, the tip line has helped 438 schools. The most common tip is bullying. Leaders in the South Milwaukee School District spoke highly of this app.
But having the 24/7 notification provides us an extra safety net for many of our students. Additionally, the fact that it's anonymous, that is also a very important aspect of this, of the Speak Out app.
The program is funded with a nearly $2 million American Rescue Plan grant. Expired COVID tests sent to people around the state. And we've heard from some of you who got those tests. Our Mary Jo Ola asked health officials if they're still good to use. Mary Jo.
Yeah, Carol, when you see an item is past its expiration date, your initial reaction may be to toss it, but you don't want to do that in this case. That's because the Food and Drug Administration actually extended the shelf life for multiple COVID-19 test kits.
I was surprised because I don't think I've had these in my closet all that long.
Andrea Groyle was surprised to see her at-home COVID tests from the federal government expired by the time she needed to use them. Her husband, Bill, tested positive for COVID-19, so she started testing at home.
You know, I wasn't sure if the components in the test break down after the expiration date. You know, I don't have that kind of knowledge. Is it still a reliable test?
People who just received at-home tests from the state of Wisconsin noticed the same thing. What's not detailed is that the FDA extended the shelf life for these COVID test kits for up to 12 months.
What manufacturers do is they'll submit initially with a shorter stability period, and then they'll move to having a longer stability period by submitting data to the FDA supporting that longer stability period.
Dr. Nathan Ledebor at the Medical College of Wisconsin says you can visit the FDA's website to verify the shelf life of your specific test. He emphasized a test kit with an extension is fine to use.
If the test has been extended, they should have no concerns because the data evaluating the performance of that test and evaluating the stability of that test has already demonstrated that that test will continue to work.
Andrea and others who noticed expiration dates are relieved the kits are still good to use, but think the messaging should be clearer.
There continue to be cases and the need for home tests. So, you know, to have a test that has an expiration date, but to know that it's still valid is helpful to know.
Now, Dr. Ledebor says despite the extensions on multiple COVID-19 test kits, he says those expiration dates are still very important because not every test kit is made the same way. Now, if you want to check your kit, you can head to TMJ4.com and click on the story for a link to that FDA website. Live in Milwaukee, Mary Jo Ola, TMJ4 News.
Still to come on TMJ4 News at 5, we continue to look at the life and legacy of Queen Elizabeth II and a time when Milwaukee caught a distant glimpse of Her Majesty.
And later, Packers take to the field this weekend. Brewers with a doubleheader tonight. Lance Allen is here to give us a rundown on both.
What a day and a great evening for some baseball, doubleheader style here at American Family Field, and also to fire up the grill once again. I know you probably did it last night. You can never grill too much. Temperatures in the 70s with a light breeze. We'll have tomorrow's forecast coming up.
Welcome back. It is the closest Queen Elizabeth ever came to the city of Milwaukee. In July 1959, Her Majesty's yacht Britannia sailed past Milwaukee while en route from Chicago to Sault Ste. Marie. The journey took the Queen a little less than 2 miles away from Milwaukee's lakefront. That prompted many small boats to venture out for a closer look. This, according to the Wisconsin Marine Historical Society. Welcome back to TMJ4 News at 5 and our coverage of the death of Queen Elizabeth II. While the Queen was never here in Milwaukee, her body double has made a stop in the Brew City. For more than 3 decades, Ella Slack's job was to play the role of the Queen during event rehearsals. Being a stand-in for the Queen meant getting into places most people don't get to go. But during a visit here in 2015, she told us there are some downsides.
Worst thing is you're very important for that minute. Once you finish rehearsing, you're out in the street trying to hail a taxi, or you're walking along and nobody knows that you've been the Queen.
Slack did not get paid for being the Queen's body double. She told us she simply enjoyed doing the job. By the way, Carol, one very strict rule, according to Slack, when she was doing that job: no sitting on the throne.
I'm impressed she wasn't paid. That is very impressive. Now, Steve, I have to let you know your throne is safe because I put police tape around it so nobody sits on it here.
I appreciate that, Carol. Thank you.
Looking out for you. Storm Team 4, we're just rolling along with the nice early September weather. Summer is still here. Brian Goddard is next with a look ahead to the weekend. Washington High School held a groundbreaking ceremony today. Now, this marks the start of a new beginning for the MPS school. It's track and field being revamped. The new field will have new turf, rubberized surface, 2 basketball half courts, and a practice area for a long jump. Beautiful day for that. Meteorologist Brian Goddard is live at the Storm Chaser at Hellfair Field. Perfect day for a game at the ballpark, Brian.
Yeah, and there's 2 of them behind me this evening here at AmFam Field. The Brewers having a doubleheader with the Giants today. Started at 3:30. The next game at 6:40. And folks are streaming in. The ones who didn't go to the first game, they'll be here for the later game. High of 85 today. We told you earlier in the week that summer would make a return, and it has been a fantastic summer week with a little bit of humidity, a lot of sunshine, and mild temperatures. This being the warmest day of the week so far. Blue sky, 79 degrees currently in Waukesha. Dew points in the low to mid 60s across the area, and you're seeing temps in the upper 70s to lower 80s across southeastern Wisconsin. We'll keep those 80s around for tomorrow as well as Saturday, tomorrow being the better of the 2 days, and then rain moves in late Saturday night, and this is a slow moving storm system. Sunday looks rainy, and I usually say not a washout. This one might be a washout, and then Monday looked to be rainy in the morning and hopefully starting to improve in the afternoon. So there's the low pressure system. The warm front has moved to the north. We're in that warm sector, the high pressure giving us the sunshine and the southerly breeze to warm us up. But that low pressure to the north is just inching along, and it will get here later in the day on Saturday. And with that, a good chance of rain Saturday night. But until then, enjoy the great weather. Dew points are in the low to mid 60s, so it's damp outside, especially at night, and temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s. That will create some patchy fog for the 3rd morning in a row. Not as bad this morning as yesterday morning, and I would expect just a little little bit of patchy fog in low-lying areas tomorrow morning. High of 83 tomorrow. A whole lot of sunshine and a nice southerly breeze out there. And for the second week in a row, Friday Football Frenzy looks to be fantastic. A great evening to cheer on your favorite team. 76 degrees by halftime and a southeast breeze at 5 to 15. No rain whatsoever. That, however, begins to change as we get into Saturday evening. Saturday night and Sunday, rain is likely. For football lovers, you're saying, that's great. I get to sit on the couch all day and watch football. Why not? And the temperatures are going to be cooler because of that as well. 83 tomorrow, 80 on Saturday with increasing clouds. That rain by evening, rain Saturday night, rain Sunday, and very windy conditions. A fall day on Sunday with highs in the 60s, and we'll stay in the 70s all of next week. And we'll be right back.
The NFL football season returns in just a few hours. You're looking live at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. The Bills and Rams in the season opener tonight on TMJ4. Coverage begins at 6, kickoff 7:20. The Green and Gold don't start their regular season until Sunday. Lance Allen is here to talk about that, Lance.
Thanks, Carol. Packers in Minnesota Sunday. I'll be there at this point of the week. The guys in the locker room like to talk a little trash to keep it light. Like when I asked Dean Lowry, who went to Northwestern, about UCLA and USC joining the Big Ten next year.
Yeah. To one of the higher level academic institutions of the Big Ten.
I think so. That's cool.
What do you think of Big Ten expansion, and should they go with Big Ten plus 10, or what are they
honestly,
doing?
I don't love it, to be honest with you. I'm more a traditionalist. I like just the Midwestern Big Ten teams, but I get why it's happening, mostly for TV and money deals. But it's a new day and age, I guess, and I was giving Kenny crap about it, how UCLA is now in the Big Ten, an actual true physical conference now. So we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to seeing UCLA and USC play at Northwestern at 11 a.m. and try and deal with those elements of home field advantage.
I like this good trash talk it's created.
It's fun, yeah. So we're always trash talking like Big Ten versus SEC or Big Ten versus Pac-12. It's fun for the locker room.
Look for it in 2024. Brewers and Giants starting a doubleheader again out at AmFam Field. Beautiful afternoon. Corbin Burns doing what a Cy Young winner does. 14 strikeouts. Hunter Renfroe with a ground rule double to score Christian Yelich. It's 2-1 Brewers in the bottom of the 8th. Pre-game, I asked Craig Counsell the mental and physical challenge of playing a doubleheader.
Doubleheaders, the mental challenges, it's, you're looking at 8 hours of the baseball on the field. And then just physically, it's a little easier to see, frankly, how much some of them are having to do in a day.
And congrats to the Handle and Flooring senior softball team winning the 70 Major World Championship in Joliet, Illinois. Those guys keep on going and rolling, Carol.
Yeah, congratulations. Thanks, Lance. Kickoff for Sunday's Packers season opener against the Vikings at 3:25 at the U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. We'll be right back.
Right now, our in-depth coverage of the death of Queen Elizabeth at age 96. The world mourning the loss of Britain's longest-serving monarch. Her son, Prince Charles, immediately becoming the new King of England. Queen Elizabeth's legacy ahead on Nightly News.
And we appreciate you joining us at 5.
We'll leave you now with some memories preserved on film of the late Queen Elizabeth II. The NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt is next.